Here we go. Okay, okay, let's start from the top again. So watch. So what I did is actually, you learn from your mistakes, right? You learn from your mistakes. So early on in the night, I pulled at 0 like a goddamn pleb and then got ice fucking, like, okay, hold on. See how much time that took? Hold on. Okay, so we're 3 seconds in the fight and the second ice shard just completed casting. So like a pleb, I pulled at 0, got ice sharded twice in 3 seconds and still had aggro at that point for the second ice. Okay. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. All right. So I do my opener. Fucking clean opener here. We'll go full screen. We're gonna go full HD too for some reason. Oh, we're at full HD. Getting the first avalanche. Yeah. Let's try and watch. So I try and watch people fuck up real time. So you can see here, Squeege. Nice, likes to clip the melee. You see me moving out of the way, but your boy Soul Saint not moving out of the way, taking damage there. I guess I can not point at my screen, but use my mouse as a pointer instead. You see the range taking the classic. Hey, range, move out. Here, hold on. Let's see how far ahead of time we call it for the range.
Oh god.
Oh, there's the Zeit. Oh god.
Freezing blast.
Range. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Still get hit by 2.
Freezing blast.
Range.
Only 2. Who is it? I can't see who that is. Looks like a Dippin' Dotty to me. There's a Shadow Boy. And a Goblin Boy? Oh. Goblin with the staff. That's either Brini or Zeit. Zeit and Shatter. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, that was a different... Okay. Never you. Alright. Alright, who's getting hit by Bombard? Nobody. Oh, Carp got hit. Freezing Blast. No one's getting knocked off. That's good. So this is my watching the entire raid fuck up real time point of view that I like to own. Facing the Ballista, breaking it, yeah. You get a pass. The good thing about getting hit by that is not really that big a deal. Like, okay, well, first of all, ignore that. That just happened. So you see here, like, we're at 34. So Dippin' Dotty actually took some damage there. I'm just gonna stop pointing at the screen. But 39, 40, 41, no damage. So like, you gotta help the healers out, right? Like here, this is me helping the healers out. Ready? Yeah, make them wake up a little bit, make sure they stay fresh. It's like, you know, like, oh, this is where Knife, okay, Knife helped him out a little too much. And Bree puts down an APT here to try and help him out, which actually later turns out to be huge. But APT here, even if he was in the water, so you die. Shadow Step back up, casting. Finish your cast well. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's worth it. I mean, like, honestly, you could let the bombs go off and on the very first set, like, Avalanche, give him something to do. His heals are falling asleep, man. Not doing damage. Well, Brini is. They're actually doing pretty decent damage.
Freezing blast.
Alright, need it. So that, yeah, see, I told you, the APT came in handy later. Torcax with the big brain play. Dying in the hard to see. How did he die? Okay, Avalanche. That's another thing. If you run an Avalanche, if you're getting close, the closer you are to Jaina, the faster it lands, right? So if you're running it out and you're running towards her, it's going to land on you. If it lands on you once, it's going to land on you twice. So if you get to her, you need to pop a defensive. Like, when are you using defensive in phase 1? Whenever you run Avalanche, that's the answer. If you're not using defensive while you run Avalanche, you're doing it wrong. So he, you know, expertly dies in the APT. Knife, you know, he wanted to be buddies with Knife on the ground. That's cool. So there we go. Grasp of Frost. And actually something that's happened to me a lot tonight was I got Grasp of Frost while I was running through fire. So I took an extra fire stack, and that I almost died like 2 or 3 times with that. So the sniper there. Okay, so we got a nice clean line of fire. Still got a lot of maneuverability. It makes it easy to clear with Avalanche. Rahz looks like Ed Sheeran in this VOD. Only in the VOD though. For some reason, even though I'm literally, yeah, no, only in the VOD. Ignores the diss. It's creepy. Check the cam. Which grin. The Skeptas pull for our best. Dude, the Skeptas pulls always are our best though. Oh, I forgot actually. This has some clean play later in this. So here's how I handle Avalanche, by the way. You get 1, 2, 3 ticks, 4 ticks of fire, and then you move out. So that's actually, so this mechanic, I don't know if everyone really fully understands this, to be honest with you. So by the way, this is totally not how you handle Avalanche. So what was going through my head here actually is there's like, look how much fucking fire this is, ridiculous. and no one else was running around the back, so I was like, okay, I guess I got time to take care of this. So consecutive ticks of fire do more damage to you, and generally 3 will kill you, unless you have healers that are fucking dope, which we do. So, you know, we're good. So then I step out for the equivalent of another tick. Like even if you step out and step back in, it's like basically like you're refreshing the debuff, even though it's not a one that you see on your screen. So the 4th tick will kill you. The 4th tick didn't kill me there because, again, dope healers. I'm pretty sure I personal there. Did I personal? Yeah, so yeah, personal on avalanche. Right here is my personal. So I'm like, okay, I'm in fire. I need to not die. I might even hellstone here. No, I don't. Okay. So if you look at the avalanche tick bar, I always take it right as it's like halfway through here. So that last one drops while I'm porting back so that I don't kill anybody. I was pretending like you meant to do this. No. Well, I did. I did mean to go through that fire. I didn't mean to take as much damage as I did, but I knew I was going to take a lot of damage, so I personal. But I should not have taken that. That was a mistake to take that many flame ticks. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. The focus edge, Sharon. I think it's fine. It's fine. You shouldn't take 4 ticks. I mean, if you have a personal running, that's good. I don't think mages have any good personals. But no, so that's what I was saying, is fire ticks don't do that much until you take consecutive fire ticks. So if you take 2 or 3, you do, it's spammable. I don't know about that. Actually, I guess I don't know if fire mage works. I never played fire mage. I was thinking of Ice Ward or Frost Shield, whatever it's called. So, but if you take consecutive ticks of flame, it does ramping damage. So if you take 2 ticks, step out for the equivalent of what would be a tick, like you're, you know, here. I think I actually do it pretty well here. So, how far back do I need to go? We'll fast forward once we get back. Okay, so got personal. So we got 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks. 4 ticks. That's a lot. 5 ticks, no fire. 1 tick again. So we're fresh. So now it's like not doing any damage again, right? So if you step out for the equivalent of what would be a tick, then you step back in, then it resets the damage ramp. So the first 2 ticks are fine. The 3rd tick, if you have no healing or no hellstone or any shit like that, then it's gonna kill you on 3 ticks. And that's where, like, if you saw the analysis that we sent to people where we say 3x fire, that's what it means by 3x fire, because that's just killing you. So we actually do really good damage here. 62% is really good. People are clearing their stacks pretty well. I don't, like, it's really nice because our tanks are pretty consistent about bringing Jaina right next to a fire patch, but our raid is pretty consistent about not using that fire patch to clear their stacks. I mean, we still have fucking, but then we go to the next one, it's fine. A little bit of downtime. This is my avalanche countdown in Italian. So we got these bombs coming out, we get away, scoot, dip in, twerk, looking okay. And then we got the clean call out. Okay, so now here's the biggest brain play. Wait for it. Hold on, we're gonna unmute for this. Dude, difference maker. I tried to trade you in. You were busy. I love your titties because they prove I can focus 2 things at once. So
yeah,
I
he
had
was
to
busy
split a
opening a
stack.
tray with me and not saying anything.
Because I didn't want to give you 17.
Straight.
That'd be
Sit up
ridiculous.
straight.
There you go. Right before we split. Pass the baton. Spammable shield. P1 damage has been crazy good. P1 clearance got better. Yeah, I mean, the best thing about phase 1 is, well, first of all, we've done it 300 fucking times. Second part is that even if we scuff the shit out of it, we know what we need to do to recover.
Back into it.
Dude, if we have to kill it now, it's gotta be the good bit.
So this is actually for the people on the right side that don't know what happens whenever we get frozen on the left side here. I'll show you every single reason that we get frozen. So this is the first image, right? First image is easy. So sometimes this tornado spawns. We actually do have 2 different patterns on the left side. Sometimes this tornado spawns and sometimes it doesn't. So when we joke about the pattern, it is kind of a meme, but it also, that tornado does make a difference. Then left it's easy. The sneaky boys get people on the left, yeah. So I always tell people to go back and right here. We want to go back and around. But we have this one here and this one here. They're pretty hard to see, especially if they're coming through. That'll get people. And then there's even more coming through. So I think somebody went in front. So it is definitely possible to go in front here. Who went in front there? It was Cow, actually. And Squeege. So Cow, damn, dude, that was fucking close. So that's what happens. If you go in front, it's just not worth it, right? So then every single time you get Wesley here, every single time I think I'm going to get hit by this one, and every single time Wesley eats it. So when Wesley doesn't eat it, that's when everyone gets fucked. So Now we're just dodging, Soul gets fucked. So then the hard part is that we start to break him out, and sometimes there's one that comes through this block. And then, you know, we're looking at Jaina to see if she's going to shoot us, which she does. So it's like, all right, peace, dude, good luck. And then here's when damage starts to fucking hurt. Especially if you get broadside here, like you're at 10 stacks and then the broadside ticks debuff on you. This is another good time to use personals, by the way, is if you get broadside and you're coming out of intermission, because that's going to do a lot of damage. That's also when you want to start looking for healthstone and health pot usage, but you really want to be saving that for phase 3. And then what I like to do here, actually, is I would try to actually eat some of these Grasp of Frost, because if you eat them in here, it will root you, but it'll only root you for 1 tick. So if there's still like 3 or 4 seconds left on the barrel, you can eat those grasps. If you're in the barrel, you'll get a stack, but it'll immediately clear. But if you try and eat a grasp at 2 seconds or less, you're gonna get frozen, especially if you don't have mobility. Warlock would have died there. Peace Glacial Ray. I never freeze on left to move to save Wesley. Almost ate shit. That'd be the good pattern, you know. Got the 1/4 job. So, yeah. I played a warrior on a Burning Crusade private server, and I would I had a custom keyboard where there's a button on the bottom of my desk, so that whenever a mob got an execute range, just slapping the bottom of the desk, just spam and execute. All right, so here we are. Scoot's the only one with everyone's that high stacks. A couple people have a little extra. That's fine. So now we've got this tiny little window to bait. We've got broadsides dropping well. Hold on, let's see where Icefall is. So Icefall is coming. That's a pretty good Icefall. It could clip X because it's still a little bit of RNG. It's not a straight line. So I'm trying to get people to not stand directly on the barrel. Oh, that was good. I don't think we actually took advantage. Oh, this might be no, this is the right pull. Oh, but he gets frozen? No, he didn't. Okay, that was a good play. Was that you, Shatter? Yeah, I remember you calling that out. Get Warlocks play Goblin. Yeah, I think that Warlocks and Shamans and Death Knights should all play Goblin. And that's the 3 alt classes that I have that are all Goblin. So I try and say, like, depending on where the Icefall's coming, the fucking radius on the broadside is huge, right? Like, look how much that grows. You don't need to be right on top of the ordnance. You can be next to it. And then Siegebreaker Blast, I know you like to call it to go left. It doesn't really matter which way it goes here as long as you get out of the group. Sometimes we are a lot more pinched here and they still go to the left. I think people don't fully understand that. It just get away from the group. This is a shit Glacial Ray, by the way. What the fuck happened? All right, so who is that even aimed at? Can't be Torque, can it? Okay, first of all, the Siegebreaker shouldn't go out, especially if you have mobility. Like, they have Heroic Leap. Maybe it's on cooldown. But maybe somebody was on the other side. I've heard just barely, because it is a pretty narrow window there. So that was pretty shit. I mean, fortunately, I was about to say fortunately it didn't go on that. But it did. So actually, I do have a gap closing ability here. We should have res Torque, but I think it was still the right call to leave him down. Target out where Siegebreaker was seconds before. Okay. Call it towards the Icefall. So, oh, that makes sense. That does make sense. That's a good call. But, yeah. I guess we could stay here, so it's hard to kind of highlight what you're saying there. But that does make sense. But we don't SLT there anymore. But the biggest thing is not getting knocked into the Glacial Ray, right? So if you dodge, you just want to make sure that you're far enough away. So this broadside, Zeit does, you say not to drop it on the ordnance. I think you say that because you want melee to be on the ordnance here, and I actually kind of suck at clear my stacks. Like I dip in, but my stacks don't clear. Ready? So then passes like, yo, dude, clear stacks. Like, yeah, good call, thank you. When it's this far away, it's fine, yeah. Done that. So this is the part that I spent most of today figuring out, is what happens here until the next barrel. This was where we just got turbo fucked on Wednesday, right? So I watched the video like 10 times and then I actually found the logs that correlated with the video. So sometimes broadside will come out before avalanche and sometimes it'll come out after avalanche. Originally I liked it before when it came out before avalanche, but now I actually like it when it comes after because it's a lot easier and cleaner. So Scoot does a really good job here. We get Blessing of Freedom on him, so even if there is an Icefall that he has to run through, and this was kind of the issue that he was talking about yesterday, Blessing of Freedom lets him run through it so he only gets 1 or 2 stacks. So he uses all of his movement abilities, and you'll see here, like we want, so they target a random player when it lands. So it was targeting the broadside players, and it's still targeting the broadside players, still targeting the broadside players. So now they're all coming at us. So they are pretty well spread. This is Pat's talking about. Like, these are definitely dodgeable, but if we had, because we have this ordnance here, if we had a paladin using Blessing of Freedom or the rogue using Cloak of Shadows, that's huge. So we actually, this is our most well executed phase 2 by far. So Scoot does the wide berth, he makes it back. I think I actually, did I run out to catch him on this one? I don't think I needed to on this one. He's coming back, he's coming back. So he's Wraithwatch, he made it back. So now we're baiting. So then this is where things start to get hectic, right? Like, we're taking a decent amount of damage between these Grasp of Frost, that Siegebreaker comes out. People start getting frozen because they got grasped. So we want that, we exploded this Glacial Ray at that Ordnance at the perfect time. So range just needs to be on that Ordnance right when we get there. Like, we want to pop that Ordnance as fast as possible, and you'll see why here in a second, right? So how many stacks were we at when that popped? You're only at 8, right? That's not that many. People usually pop it, well, anywhere between 8 and 12 is really where you want to be. And we have her at the right percentage, 37%. It's like, this is a good pull, and even with Torque Axe dead. So like, we probably would have but like 1 or 2 more percent of Torque was left. Excuse me. Broadside not on barrel because our healers don't move in too far. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter where broadsides go as long as they're out of the group. I made that pretty clear. I think people got the message, hopefully. So right here, damage isn't all that important. Like, we're ahead. You know, we're at 7 stacks. I guess with the Howling Winds, we start to go up in stacks a little bit. But, you know, we're not in any real danger. We're baiting. He's frozen, whatever. What we can do is if Jaina's at 31%, maybe 31.5%, you can actually lust while she's casting Glacial Ray, whether starting the cast or channeling. And, like, she won't ice block until she finishes the Glacial Ray cast, so you can actually get more damage into Jaina faster. But actually, I don't know if we want to do that, because that's when you're not killing the Ellie. So we have good damage here. So this is what I really wanted to see, is how much damage we have on Jaina. So Crush on the wall, we have good. This is like pretty perfect, honestly. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. So we actually 27.8. That's good. You know, you want to be sub 28% is what you're looking for at that point. And so dots are still going to take her down. Should get her down to 27.5 at least. So 27.5 is good. So did we get a Wind Rush totem there? I think we got one at the very last second. Do I have a Wind Rush buff? Yeah, I do. Okay, so I have the Wind Rush buff. So we actually fuck up this. Don't change anything. Yeah. Right side's on barrel. Cause, yeah. Refresh dots right before I hit the wall. Yeah, that's perfect. So we do work here. Actually, we killed Nethanos a little too early, I think. And that's me calling it. I meant to make a weaker. I didn't have time today to say when we want to kill him. So we want to kill him. He has 5 seconds left. We can wait another 2 or 3 seconds. Like, basically when the ice touches him, we need to be above, I think it's like 2.5 seconds on the debuff. So we had a little bit more time, but it's not a big deal that we kill him early. It's better to kill him early than late. So we actually, Squeech had a really clutch call of putting the markers on these guys and melee on Skull, range on X, which, by the way, range, since it's all range DPS in here, by the way. You guys let one cast go off here. Just saying. So everyone's alive. We have no battle reses, so it would be a dicey pull either way. So then, yep, there's your guys' water bubble volley going off. Ready? Right there. I love the LVI shows me who interrupted, by the way, so you can see. Torque got that one, but no one got the X. So that hurt. I'm pretty sure that gives everyone a stack. I'm not 100% sure. That was a good timing on the interrupt, by the way. We were dodging broadsides a lot, but that gives us extra time. We could probably do it a little bit earlier, but you know, you want to make sure everyone's out of the wall. So now we have Howling Winds, which ramps up our stacks, ramps up our damage. I didn't look to see. Where is it? Heart of Frost, Water Volley, Water Volley. Not too much damage. Didn't look like it gave people a stack. Can't tell. Couldn't click your gate, so you forgot to interrupt until you were down there. Yeah, I wish we had 2 Warlocks so we could have 2 gates, because it's hard to click the first gate. So we need to stand in the Orb of Frost here while we're killing the Elemental. Doesn't get any more casts. And then we have 2 Heart of Frost, so I think that Heart of Frost is cleaving up people. Heart of Frost on Squeege, Heart of Frost on Nambad, Heart of Frost on Cow. It's just straight up giving people unnecessary stacks. So you can see, like, I think right now. Shatter and Zeit, you guys are the ones that are doing it correctly, and Torque not getting cleaved by any of the other mechanics. So you're at the stacks that we should be at here. And then the Dust obviously just annihilates us. So how many, something at 6 stacks? Wait, how many, is that 14? So Dust gives him, okay, so he gets to 16. How many does Dust give? Who lives and gets hit by Dust? I think I do. So I'm at 12. Dust coming out. 13 only gives 1. Okay, so he is at 16. Dust hits him. He would be at 17. So yeah, so he gets hit by that Dust and then he dies. APT. Nobody else gets hit by it. How many people do we have alive if we execute that correctly? So he dies. We have everyone. We have everyone alive. We also stack on Squeege for the orb. Tell you what you did wrong with Heart of Frost. Where did you have Heart of Frost? So the way Heart of Frost is supposed to be executed, and this is, I mean, it's just pure chaos right now, right? So we're still figuring that part out. The way the Heart of Frost is supposed to be executed is when we're running back down, so Nambat has it here, he's doing it right? So he's running down the side, he ducks into the group so he doesn't get frozen, but he doesn't get too close that Heart hits people. He waits for it to wear off, he goes through the portal. Squeege has it. Squeege probably is fucking it up here. Shatter Heart. So you run over. So you're doing it right. The issue, yeah, you're doing it just fine. So we just need to pick a spot, and I'm probably going to put a marker down for tomorrow of where we want to go when we come out of the wall so that we all stack on that exact point. So right now we're just kind of loose, right? So no one, there's such a loose stack right now. So we're all stacked on Squeege, and he has Heart of Frost, so that puts us 7, 8, boom, 9, okay. So we do that, and we have the elementals down. So this is looking good, right? This is looking like a good pool. Like we have people taking unnecessary stacks a little bit from Heart of Frost, but overall it's looking pretty good. Cal came in and Squeege stayed in. Yeah, and that obviously that Crystalline Dust fucked us. So then I get my next meta here. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna be able to get a meta on an actual pool. Seems like I will though. I think when we get a pool, our kill time is gonna be like 850. So we actually handled this part really well because the Glacial Ray, when it comes out, look, it goes that way. It goes away from Jaina. So you always want to dodge to the right, depending on where she's aiming it, obviously, but like that worked out really well. So where we want to be standing, where I'm standing is not in a good spot. Where it got sent is where you want to be standing. I think, why do we stand there? So you want them to be basically in a straight line with each other. So I want to be like where this person's standing. That's Bree. So yeah, you want it to be coming out this way, and that one also be coming that way, and then it grows the other direction, and then you just move to the right and you just keep fucking mollywopping her. All right, and that's it. And then once we get that, that's it, right? The only other mechanic that we have is living. We have another Icefall, that Icefall RNG. So 2 Icefalls actually come out here because there's the image. I don't know if I actually turned the camera to see. Looks like they went on top of each other. There's me flexing the tank. Did they go on top of each other? It kind of looks like they did. Just based on the width of that. It's like the dream RNG. Position is shit for the default spot. So I'm running in thinking I'm about to be frozen. It's actually Heart. Hands up, dude. This is the opposite. That's the opposite of this, right? This is hell yeah. Let's go. This is me trying to be quiet but trying to be hype also because I have neighbors on both sides and my girlfriend's trying to sleep. But still hype. Adrenaline's pumping. So that's the pool. Tricky during Blizzard. Oh, the Heart of Frost. Yeah, so the trick is always that little circle that shows up, right? So the Heart of Frost circle is smaller than the getting frozen circle, so you want to be kind of on the edge. And if we put a marker down in phase 3 for everyone to be stacking up on, it'll be so much easier. And honestly, we can put up a second marker for people to go to that have Heart of Frost. Although they need to be spread out. It's like everyone that has Heart of Frost spreads out loosely around the pack. And then once it wears off, it's in. And we don't need to worry about that once we kill the elementals. So the sooner we kill the elementals, the sooner we don't have to worry about that. And that's part of the reason that we're pushing for the consistency. It's a personal response. No markers for it. Yeah. I guess just go out. You want to clear left with the heart, because if you end up being out with the heart when a bait happens, then you're baiting it towards the left, and again the glacial right grows to the direction of you, so that means we dodge right, and the melee still have full uptime on Jaina. Mark it for raid. Yeah. Put the frozen weaker around your character. What do you mean? So there's something I wanted to do that I didn't. There's two things I want to do. I want to make 2 weak auras for timing on the wall. We have 20 seconds to kill a wall once Jaina teleports for the intermission. And we have 42 to 43 seconds that we want to kill Nathanos. And I wanted both of those